What's my discipline blade? How sharp is my discipline blade right now? Hey, when you walk by the mirror, you go, that's a bad motherfucker right there. That's a bad motherfucker. Do you say that? I want you to know, do you guys say that? Think tonight when you're looking in the mirror.
You have to realize, you have to know, you have to accept that all your excuses are lies. They are lies, all of them. Think about the things that you tell yourself, the lies you use to rationalize taking the easy road. Taking the easy road and leaving discipline behind. Think about them. You don't have time. That's a lie. You don't have support. That's a lie. You don't have the equipment or the gear. Lies. You don't know the best way. Who cares? That's a lie. Or you're too old, or you're too young. Of course you're too old or too young. Lie. You are the general that is in charge of your life. In charge of the war.
Everything is war. All of it. Sitting in the commute without losing your patience is war. Trying to find a way to escape your slave job is war. Keeping your wife happy and your children inspired is war. Training to become stronger than before is war.
Some people talk about being the CEO of your life. I'm telling you, you are the general of your life because it's a war. It's a war going on. The battle that's going on in your life to be stronger and smarter and faster and better. So that means as the general, you're the one who decides what you do and how you're going to do it. You come up with a strategy. It's on you. But you got to remember this.
Discipline is the key to success. If you cannot force yourself to do something you don't want to do, how are you ever going to put yourself through the suffering required for greatness? If you cannot force yourself to train when you do not want to train, if you cannot force yourself to work when you don't want to work, if you can't force yourself to not log into Pornhub or force yourself to eat right, how can you possibly ever become a monumentally successful person if you cannot control yourself long enough to do what must be done as opposed to what you feel like doing? The only people who get to live their lives based on how they feel are women and children. Children can cry because they feel like crying, as can a woman. A woman can start an argument because she feels like arguing, as can a child. A man must do what he is supposed to do irregardless of how he feels. That is the key component to masculinity, is discipline. If you do not have the discipline to dedicate yourself to anything, you are going to fail and be crushed by the people who can. If you only go to the gym when you feel like going to the gym, you're never going to be as strong as the people who go to the gym when they don't feel like going to the gym. That is a reality of life. I don't train because I want to get bigger. I train every day because it is difficult to train every day. It hurts. I don't want to. I wake up and I'm busy. I have other things to do. I don't feel like doing it, so I force myself to do it 7 days a week, 365 days a year, so that I know I'm the kind of person who can do what he doesn't want to do when it needs to be done. I am that man, and it's more of a mental exercise than a physical exercise at this point. How can you ever outcompete me if I can force myself to do the things I don't want to do and you cannot? Discipline is absolutely essential for success, and you need to get very comfortable and very used to the idea of understanding that on your path to greatness, there are going to be long periods of time where you hate what you are doing, where you are dissatisfied with the actions you must undertake, where you are tired, where you are stressed. That is why it is difficult. That is why most people won't make it. If the path was easy, everybody would walk it and it would lead nowhere. 100 people start the path, 99 fall off because it is difficult, and the one person who makes it to the end gets the gold. If all 100 made it to the end and the gold was divided by 100, it wouldn't even be worth anything. The difficulty gives it value.
Most people can only execute when they feel good. If you could be someone who can execute whether you feel good or whether you feel like, and you can execute at a high level, that means that the 30% of the time where they feel good and the 66.666% of the time where they feel like they're not executing, you have a 66% advantage over the time that you're executing that they don't, which means you're doing 2/3 more work than what they're doing. Okay, it's math. So You have to train yourself to become someone who is resilient, who has fortitude, who has grit, who can persevere, who can pay attention to their boss voice and can execute against the things that they know are going to move them where they want to go, even when they don't feel like it. And if you can do that, it will become quote unquote easier. You will perceive it to be easier. It will not be easier. You will be stronger.
I mean, people should just realize that I'm not going to have any sympathy for any of those things, when someone says it's difficult, because there is a lot of things in life that are difficult. And you have to ask yourself the question right off the top, are you going to be one of those guys that are going to go and back off every time something is difficult? Or do you want to be one of those guys that says, look, it doesn't matter if it's easy or difficult or most difficult, I'm going to go and crush through it.